Here at Tirsbaek, we have Land Rovers of all shapes and sizes, from ex-military monsters, collectible classics, to the epitome of the Defender in the form of a Heritage Final Edition. We often get asked both how we have so many vehicles and why we don't make more use of all of them in our videos. Well, through our new series Out of the Barn, we're going to go through the story of each and every one.
So what I'm sitting on top of here is probably a car you have seen before. This is my 90. It dates back from 1988. It's got a Rover V8 in the front. What's a bit special about it is I've also got a ZF 4-speed gearbox, which I haven't seen anywhere else in a Defender. I got it for about 5 years ago, I believe. I didn't have a driver's license at that point, but I really wanted a Defender. My dad said I needed a Defender so I couldn't live around the farm. He wouldn't allow me to drive anything else. But then I also said I needed a V8. I didn't want that diesel or TD5 or anything. I just wanted a big chunky V8 and a 90 as well, which is a very specific search here for in Denmark, where there isn't that many Defenders around. But I think it's a year after somebody popped up saying that he had a 90 V8 for sale, which is on Fyn, which is on the middle island here in Denmark. So we went over there and had a talk with him. Took the car for a quick drive around the field that was on the other side of his workshop. Went back in and we got it pretty much straight away because it was in such good condition. It's a bit hard to find a V8, especially when we saw that it was from 88. We believed that the frame needed replacing and the engine was about to go, but the frame was absolutely spotless. There was nothing on it, and the engine as well was just running. It had only done 125,000 when I got it, so that was a pretty good deal. The whole deal lasted about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and the car was already loaded on the trailer. We went back home, and then the first thing we did when we unloaded it was we went up into the woods and we got stuck. That was about within the first hour of getting it here down at the farm, so we kind of ticked that box off. So some of you may know that I work in the Army, Danish Royal Army, which is based in Copenhagen, which is pretty much the furthest away you can get from here. So every weekend I have to go back and forth where I take this car. It's about a 250-300 kilometer journey back and forward. But this car does it like an absolute champ. It gets there and back again with no problem. Only have to fuel about 3 times on the way, but that's kind of my own problem. So it's doing a lot of kilometers here. It's done about 170,000 now. It was 125 when I got it. So I've rounded up a couple of kilometers here. Yeah. But it just keeps on going. There's absolutely no stopping it, except I'm running out of fuel. But, there's some minor problems, you know, gasket goes here and there and something needs to get fixed, but there's nothing you can't do on a weekend when you haven't got anything else to do. You just take it into the workshop and fix it, and you can drive it for the next many kilometers. So I'm really happy about that. The Defender is a model kit that's meant to be completely built up from the ground pretty much. Remove things, put some better things in it, and so on. So what I've done is I've done some bit of cosmetics, like the bigger wheel arches, got the Rage front grille, and I've got the tree sliders as well, just to prevent from hitting anything driving inside the woods. Under the bonnet, the engine haven't got that many upgrades. I've got a bigger camshaft in it, got some new leads for it as well, but that's about it. It just runs as it should. I've got the Sparco R100 seats in it. I could highly recommend getting some better seats. Every time I drive my sister's Defender around, sitting there, the standard Defender seats, that's it. I just keep reminding myself of how good these seats are actually for driving both long term and driving an off-road, because it kind of clamps you in. I'm really happy I got those. I also got the steering wheel, motor liter steering wheel, which I also got from one of the first things. I think I got before the car got an MOT. Got a steering wheel, which I'm really happy about. It's very expensive, but I really like it. And the stereo wise, I've got the two 12-inch subs in the back, because you just needed to have those when you were younger. But I still haven't taken them out because I actually really like them. They make a really good sound inside the car, and also got bigger speakers in the front. I've got some 4 inches in the back, and I've got some tweeters in the dashboard, kind of like the Puma had. I just took out the dash, drilled some holes and put some tweeters in it, and it works really well. And I've also got the mod console in it, and an upgraded radio and some other stuff. But you do kind of need a lot of punch to make more sound than the engine does when you're driving on the highway, because I've also straight piped it, so that's kind of what you need to do when you got a V8. You put a straight pipe on it straight away. My favorite thing about the car is probably the sound it makes, I think. Yeah, it's about the sound it makes. Just how many hits can you turn when you go through the town and you take it down to first gear and starts bobbling a bit and you just hit the throttle. It just puts a smile on everybody's faces. Even old, young, everybody just turn their heads and look at it and smile because it's such a great sounding engine. So that's probably my favorite bit about it. Our plans with this vehicle is probably get the first job to do, major job to do, is get a new exhaust on it, because the ones right now is slowly rotting away and the exhaust manifold's also leaky, so I need to get those. I got a new exhaust manifold laying about, I just haven't got the time to fit it. I also got a friend of mine who can make a whole new stainless steel exhaust system, and hopefully round it up in a side exit exhaust, because that would look really cool. But again, that takes time and money, two things I haven't got. I've got energy, but no time, no money, so that'll be another time. And the good thing about getting a Rover V8 from the start is because the Rover V8 got the exact same dimensions as the 4.6 of the 3.5, and the 4.6 got exactly the same dimensions, so you can just rip out this 3.5 and put it in a 4.6 pretty much in an afternoon. So it's also a thing to do when this engine cannot do any longer, is get a 4.6 and stick in it and see how many horsepower I can wrap up. But for now, the 3.5 drive is absolutely fine. So I don't think there's any need for replacing it just now. But I'm keeping a lookout for 4.6 eventually and changing it. But as I said, a Defender is a life-size mechanical kit. You can put anything onto it and remove anything you want. So my plan for this vehicle is keeping it as long as I can, which means when I'm 40 years old, this one will still be in a barn somewhere, waiting probably a brand new rebuild, but it will happen at some point. I have no plans or intention of selling this vehicle.